In this video we'll be taking a look at Lubuntu 12.10, so it's another of the Ubuntu derivatives, but Lubuntu is more the lighter weight of all the official releases, but not the lightest weight distro you could get for an Ubuntu based system. That prize would go to Bodhi Linux. However, here it is, and still can't get away from that distinct whiff of Windows 2000. It is very bland and basic with this distro, quite like how Windows 2000 was. In fact, even the application menu icon has gone back to a square shape, and in Lubuntu 12.04 at least it had a little fancy shape to that. So I noticed in this release that they've done some improvements on the styling, so I've got some new wallpapers, a couple of new icons there, so the icon for Chromium is different. And I think the icon for the Software Center had changed as well. Let's just go and find that one. Yeah, Lubuntu Software Center. Or even Synaptic Package Manager is using the same icon, so they're a bit fancier. Funny, we were promised a new icon theme in Ubuntu for the past year, and the only one to have actually changed them is Lubuntu. Oh well. Now when I was using this distro, I noticed some stability issues in PCman FM, which is a pity because I was using it and thinking, oh, this is quite nice and speedy, and you've got tab browsing, so yeah, it's quite a nice file manager. But then I was trying to copy files off my NAS, and it just wasn't having it. I realised there was a package missing for SMB client, but installed that, you copy about one file and then that's it just gives up and stops. So I've went in the music folder, and this folder should have 5 files in it. I've got one there, full size 19 meg, that one 0 bytes. Weren't working. Don't know why. Some stability issues there, or some issues with Samba, I don't know. Another thing I noticed in this release, if we look at the task manager, is that the memory usage seems to be quite a bit higher than the 12.04 release of this. So I was getting around 85 meg of RAM used. I did look back at the video, so for 12.04 I reviewed the 32-bit, but for 12.10 I'm reviewing the 64-bit. Might have a bearing on it, that. Slightly higher memory usage in a 64-bit system. But I'd say that's still quite a lot for what's supposed to be a lightweight system. Well, it's a lot lighter than Ubuntu, Kubuntu and Xubuntu, but not as light as it could be. So take a look at what we've got pre-installed. So under accessories, well, not much point in reading all of them out. Well, the difference on this release is we've got Catfish File Searcher pre-installed. Under games, we've got a variety of the lightweight Penguin games. However, if you try and remove one of these, it removes the package for Lubuntu Desktop. Under graphics, we have a document viewer, empty paint graphic editor and simple scan. So you can see it's just a basic paint type program. Under internet, we've got Chromium for the web browser. Don't know how good a decision that was, considering you see some statistics saying Firefox is now a bit lighter for memory than Chromium, but I'm sure we could debate that one for quite a while. Anyway, we also have Pigeon Internet Messenger, Silfeed email client and transmission for downloading torrent files. Under Office, we just got the lightweight AbiWord and GNumeric. Under sound and video, we've got Audacious music player, GNOME M player for videos, GUVC view for webcam viewer. I'm sure you've seen that one before in my videos. And we've got XF Burn. System tools, not really going to read all these out, but we can notice we've got Synaptic Package Manager, Software Updater, which is a bit more basic in the 12.10 releases of Ubuntu. And we've got the Lubuntu Software Center. Now this is a bit lighter weight than the Ubuntu Software Center, but I noticed we're missing the pay-for applications. We've got the application ratings and reviews on here. A reasonable alternative, it's just a shame they don't have the pay-for applications. And under preferences, you've just got a variety of preferences here. We can customise look and feel, so you can change the desktop slightly. In fact, you can even add compis into Lubuntu. But don't ask me how, I'm just aware that you can. Right, here's what I thought of Lubuntu 12.10. So easy to use, reasonably enough, except there's still the overall problem on 12.10 where there's no auto prompt for driver install. You have to go looking under software sources, and that's not the most obvious place. Yeah, ease of installation, it's easy enough to install to be able to dual boot with Windows. Styling, There's been some improvements on this release, but I think Lubuntu 12.04 looks a bit better. So boot up speed, it's pretty quick, and it's also pretty quick on responsiveness. A number of bugs. There's still the overall problem of the drivers for older AMD cards has been dropped, so that's not really that good. And PCman FM had a lot of issues with Samba. I know there's one of the Samba packages missing, but I installed that and it wasn't really much better. A selection of pre-installed applications. Well, you don't get the proprietary codecs pre-installed, but you can install them during the system install time or later on with Lubuntu Restricted Extras package. And I've also marked it down here because the Lubuntu Desktop Meta package still depends on the Penguin games. Well, the Penguin games are alright, it would be good to have the option to remove them without losing the meta package for Lubuntu Desktop. It could cause problems later on. A number of applications available is pretty good, but there could always be more, and you get both the 32 and 64-bit versions. So the good points, well, of the Ubuntu derivatives, I think it's the better one for the older and less powerful systems. But the bad points, it is not as light or as pretty as Bodhi Linux. So if I was looking for a distro for an older, less powerful machine, I would probably take Bodhi Linux over Lubuntu. And the other point there, the memory usage is a bit higher than before. But overall, I've given it 78%, and that was about the same score that I gave Lubuntu 12.10. So thanks for watching, I'll see you later.